Yeah, I think this is the first lecture of COMP1720, or maybe it's like a kind of pre-lecture. I just wanted to do a bit of a stream today to make sure that my system is working. The first lecture is on Wednesday afternoon, but it's always good to try things out. Practice makes perfect, as we would say in showbiz. I'm just going to remove this little OBS setting. I might start a recording because I wanted to get a few like COMP1720-ish shots for when we're ready to go with the rest of the course. Now, let's arrange my screen to do the stream in the way that I usually like to do it. Where's Teams? Get Teams on my other computer, so you know. Teams, there it is. Get rid of this one. I'm not going to go too fast today, just going to try out a few different things, make sure everything is working the way it should be. Probably close my Restream dashboard and get p5.js up. No one's watching it, so, you know, that's how things roll around here anyway. It's working, cool. Get the chat up. Let's type something in. A bit of a... Oh, I can look at the stream on my iPad. That's pretty good. I'm watching myself. I've got one viewer so far. Not ideal, but you know, that's how these things go sometimes. Oh no. I don't know if you can do the stream, the lecture and the chat in the iPad app. Oh, there it is. There's the chat. Well, if anyone feels like stream chatting at me, then you know where to find me. So I guess I just wanted to make sure my setup was working. But while I'm here, maybe we can just do a bit of a hack on p5.js. So I've got my lab 1 here. And actually, I've already completed lab 1. So, I just got rid of my server. Bring my server back. There's my circle. And in fact, I made the canvas only 500 by 500 there. I guess I wanted to try adding some more code. So one thing we'll be talking about in the first lecture is what to do when you're stuck in COMP1720, right? And right now I'm a bit stuck because I've just done all the instructions for getting my system working. And I've got my circle on the internet. Everything's working fine from that perspective. But I just wanted to make sure that, or try out something different. What else can I do now? I'd like to make some art. So what I'm going to tell you is that once you've done the first lab and you want to start playing around and making some art with code, and exploring the kind of code you could use to make art, the best place to go is the p5.js website, which is p5js.org. Sorry, it's really small on my screen there, p5.js.org, p5js.org, sorry. And the next thing you want to do is go have a look at the reference page. And this will help you to see the kinds of things that you can do. So in fact, on this page, there's every, I guess, command that you can use in P5.js, or every function that's available to you in this system. So, you know, suppose we wanted to change the color of something, right? We want our ellipse to be a different color. So going down to the color area, we could have a play with some of these different commands or functions. So maybe what I'd really like is to fill my circle with a different color than it already had. So I've already got my white circle there, my white ellipse. And in fact, I might want to make it red. So I can see here that this is the code for making it red. And I might just copy that over and see if it works. So I'm doing programming by copying and pasting, which is not always the best way to go about things, but when you're just learning and you want to try out some different things, it can really help you. So I've saved this, and it should just show up immediately in my page as red. So that's cool. That's one way to change the fill of something, right? The fill color for a circle is to use the word for that color, red. What if I change it to something else? Blue. Oh, we got a blue circle. How about this? Green. Green circle, cool. What about like something more complicated? I'm just guessing here, but we could try something. Light red. No, it doesn't like that too much. Light red just got us white. So maybe there's not that many different colors that you can actually put in. We've got a black circle on a gray background. Not too many different colors you could actually use here. There's red. That's my stream, I don't need that. And maybe it's better to use some different ways of defining the color, right? Maybe using this Rgb Integer Values. So that's going to be red, green, and blue. And each of these parameters are going to stand for one of those things. The first one will be red, then green, and then blue. I might make this bigger so you can see if you're following along with me. Red, green, and blue. So why don't I try that? I'm going to copy in exactly what they've got there. Now I've already got the fill, so I don't have to copy that in. I might start adding everything else just as it is on the website. I'll type in 255.204.0. So that's going to be fully on red. So, you know, you might not know this, but these numbers go between 0 and 255. 255 is the maximum. There's some reasons why that's the case, but we don't need to go into it now. 255 means like full red, as red as you can have it. 204 is like 80% green. And then 0 is no blue. So let's do that, saving this document. I just press Command S or Control S if you're on a Windows or Linux system to save it, and we get yellow. So now we can start exploring with different colors. Add some blue, we get a lighter yellow. Take away some green, we get more of a pink. Take away some blue, we get this dull pink. Maybe I'm going to increase the green to be even more than blue. We get more of a green now. Get a brighter green. I want this to be like the moon or something, right? The moon, I guess, is a kind of light blue sometimes. That's the kind of moon I'm thinking of. So I might increase this one a bit. Maybe get red and green kind of in balance. Or take down that green and give me more blue. And that's not right. That's too blue. Just turn these two up a bit more. A little bit more. 170, 170. How about that? Well, that's a bit grey. I'll turn up my blue a bit more. 210. How about that? Turn these down. All right, that's the kind of moony blue, white, grey I was looking for. So that's how we can change a colour. What about some other kinds of shapes? So I've had a look at fill now for colours, but the only shape I've got so far is an ellipse. I might want to do something else. So, oops. I might have a look in the shape area. If you're looking at this on a screen with a lot of space, you can see like these different commands are kind of grouped into different groups. There's the color group, all different color commands you can do, and the shape group, all these different shape commands. So we've done ellipse. I might try line, actually. So let's add a line. I don't know, how's line work? I'll click on line to find out. So line, we can see here it's got 4 numbers as the parameters. Pop that in. Let's just see what happens if I run that bit of code. I'll just save it. So if you look very carefully here, I might zoom it all the way in. There is a line in my code, but it's ended up being like very small and black on the grey background, which I don't really want it to be like that. So how can I change it? We were talking about color before with fill, but you know, with shapes in P5, there's 2 colors, 2 main colors, I guess, or 2 main ways to color it. One is fill, which is the color inwards of the body of a shape, and there's another color command to change the color of the edge. So that command is actually this one, stroke. So maybe if I now do stroke, there's my 4 values for it. I'm just going to, stroke has a lot of different versions. It's very similar to fill. And I want to actually use kind of the same RGB values that I did for that fill. So I'm just going to copy those in. I don't know what all this is. That kind of came up automatically. Okay, make sure we have a semicolon at the end. Isn't it weird that you have to have a semicolon at the end of every line? Why do they do that? There's no, I can't think of a very good reason for it, but I guess it kind of makes you feel good when you get to the end of a line, you sort of smash out that semicolon. Whoops, I can't even type one. Bam, done, end of the line. Finished it off. Okay, so when I save this, no, saving the wrong thing, save my sketch. Now I've got my light mauve, light purple line hanging out there. There was something else in stroke. There was this reference to this thing called stroke weight. So that's going to be handy as well, because when I drew this line, it's actually really small. Like the width of the line is very small. But if I use stroke weight, I can make it bigger. Stroke weight. So they've used 4 in their example. I'm going to go all the way to 10. Bam, semicolon, finish off that line. There we go. Now we've got a significant line. And I might make it a little bit whiter, so I'm going to add some more color. It's not quite what I wanted. And now the moon's got that stroke around it. That's a bit confusing. Uh-oh. Oh, what happens when you press that? Oh, that's my changes in my Git file, in my Git repository. I might change it so that the stroke weight is 0 for the moon, so we don't have any stroke. Then I fill the moon. Then I'm changing my stroke weight, then I'm making the line. The problem that was happening was that this little block of code called draw is running over and over and over again. So I set the stroke weight to be 10, and then when I came around to it the second time, the stroke weight was too big for my ellipse. So if I save that, now I've got what I want. My little kind of line is working, and my moon doesn't have a big stroke. So what do these 4 numbers mean with my line? Well, they're going to be the coordinates on the screen within the browser window of the starting point and ending point of that line. Now, on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the grid and talk about how we have X and Y values for each coordinate or point in the browser window. But for now, you can just take my word for it. This is our first pair of coordinates for the start of the line, the X value and the Y value. And then there's the second pair. And we actually count x out this way, from the left-hand side out to the right, increasing, 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 and y starts in this corner and then increases as we go down, which is a bit of a flip, right? We normally think of y sort of increasing upwards, but in computer graphics it often increases down from the top of the screen. So I just want kind of a straight horizontal line. So actually my y value ought to be kind of the same. So I've got 20y and 20y for the second y. And I want to kind of put this over the moon. So maybe I'm going to, the moon starts at 200, 200, right? So if I move it down here, and kind of, oh, where'd it go? Oh, now it's 0. It has no length. That's a problem. Okay, so that's 200 there, and then that must be 280. So I'm going to move it down, but I also kind of want it to be in the middle of the moon somehow. So maybe 250, oh, 225, 250. How about that for y? Yeah. Now there's kind of a nice, I'm thinking of a nice image where there's kind of clouds moving across the moon, these thin kind of clouds. So I'm going to make them with some strokes. I might add some others and probably put them at like different heights. Maybe this one's going to be 236, not 2360. 236. This one's going to be 180 or something. And maybe I'll put their start points in different places. This one's start point is going to be 180 and go to 210 maybe, like that. That's pretty cool. And this one's going to be 100 and go to 300. So kind of, well, that's too far. I want it to be, start further back, maybe 80. And go only half, most of the way across the moon, so like 285 or something. Still too far. Whoops. Actually, I kind of want them as a bunch, so I might move this one further up. Maybe make it a bit longer. Or maybe I'll move all these ones down a bit. Or 250 is probably too far down. $230, $230. Move that one a bit further down. $210, $210. And maybe that one could be 190. How about that? So they're going to be sort of 20 pixels apart in the screen. Now that's kind of what I wanted. Now it sort of looks more like the moon with some clouds moving across it, doesn't it? So I guess I just wanted to point out in this short stream today what you might do to get started with making some different kinds of shapes and colors in your processing sketches, your p5.js sketches, sorry. The idea with this course is that you do a lot of experimentation with it. So it's the adage is that programming is a contact sport. We want you to get out there and try expressing yourself, even if you don't know how. And if you don't know what to do next in processing in P5, then you should be getting onto the website, having a look in the documentation for p5.js, and try out lots of different artistic styles. Today I just wanted to sketch around with that ellipse sending code. We might do some different kinds of things in a demo on Wednesday, but other than that, you folks have fun with it. Have fun starting up pre-lab 1. Make sure you sign up to a lab on streams, and I'll catch you in the first lecture and at some of the drop-in lab